live in California shall be concerned with what is going on in your state. The death penalty has been around since 1872, got suspended and brought back, but now there's a proposition that wants to abolish the death penalty altogether. This is Proposition 34. Our team here today is to show you that we don't agree with the government's resolution. The government's resolution is that Prop 34 should be passed, but we don't think it should be passed, and our off case is that the death penalty should be amended, not ended. But let's go over a few definitions. The death penalty is defined as the act of which a convicted murderer gets executed by a lethal dose. Amended is the act in which something gets fixed or changed, and ended is to abolish or get rid of it. And we're going off the value of life. And this is important because we feel that it is important that life needs to be respected and that it just can't be taken away without further consequence. So we are going to win this argument by showing that we shouldn't pass Prop 34 and that by amending the death penalty system will be better for life. So number one contention that the government proposed was that no more innocent people will be executed by the death penalty. Well, interestingly enough, they didn't give any facts or evidence regarding this contention. In fact, there's been no facts or evidence that has ever been proven that an innocent individual has been killed or executed in California. Even Governor Jerry Brown has stated that there are no innocent individuals on death row. This information was gotten from the SFG. Also, only 2% of murder cases are given the death penalty because of extreme measures. In these extreme cases, I'll give you some examples. Richard Allen Davis was kidnapped and raped a 12-year-old polyclass and tortured him before he died. Robert Rhodes, also a child rapist, kidnapped and tortured a 12-year-old, stabbed him 70 times. These people were put on death row and got the death penalty. This is also cited from waitingforjustice.net. Now for contention 2. They state that millions of dollars of state money will be saved by passing Prop 34, thus leaving more money for law enforcement and spending. But the thing is, by giving people life in prison instead of execution, California taxpayers will be giving their hard-earned money to killers for health care and 3 meals a day. This information is also gotten off Waiting for Justice. The prison of San Quentin holds all death row inmates, and it costs an average of each death mate $57,399 a year. Now this price goes up as these inmates get older, and so in the long term, this is actually going to cost quite a bit of money. The death penalty accounts for 0.1% of California's budget as well. So it's not that much taxing. I'm sure there are other areas we can find where we can give law enforcement more money. This is also cited from Waiting for Justice. Also, the contention number 3 that the government proposed that it is constitutionally wrong for the death penalty to be administered. But the death penalty falls under the capital punishment and thus it is constitutional. Also, now into our off case where we will win this debate and show why the death penalty should be amended, not ended. We should, for our first contention, we should streamline the appeals process and make it a requirement for defense attorneys to take the case. By fast-tracking the appeals case and making attorneys take the case faster, will result in a reduction in inmates spending in time in jail, and so it won't take us long, therefore we will save a lot more money doing it that way. Also, that information was also gotten from Waiting for Justice. Contention 2, we should switch from a 3-drug injection to a 1-drug injection like Ohio, Arizona, and Washington. Inmates stale and delay their execution by suing for cruel and unusual punishment due to the 3 drugs and believe that it can have a chemical reaction. 15 seconds, sorry. So that way they won't be delayed because the 1 drug is much more effective. And also, if you take away the death penalty, you can cause more crime and murders because people won't have the fear of getting the death penalty. And also, this was cited from ProDeathPenalty.com.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much, David, and now we move to the member of the government, Kamyar. You have 4 minutes, please.
All right, so I agree with all their definitions. As for contentions, the first one was we didn't have any facts for people being innocent, on death row. I do have some facts. So first of all, Evelyn Ludwin, a Georgia Georgia student went missing in 1981. Subsequently convicted sex offender Ellis Felker was put under heavy surveillance during that time. During the time that Logan's body was found, raped and brutalized in the creek, was during the time that the man Felker was under surveillance, and the cops, were the ones surveilling. Autopsy revealed that she'd been dead for 5 days when they found her, but this information removed Felker from investigation and ruled him out. So during the trial, the attorneys actually found a box of evidence that had been withheld. The box contained DNA evidence proving somebody else was the one who was actually at charge or at fault, and there was also a signed confession by that man.
For clarification, does this case take place in? Sorry,
Is that a point of information?
point of information.
And you state.
Oh, sorry. Point of information.
Okay, then don't ask anything. You wait till he recognizes you.
All right.
That was in my
What?
Did I have my document?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Was this case in California or Georgia?
It was.
Because you said it happened in Georgia.
No, it was in Georgia. That case. Alright, well, yeah. Anyways, basically, should I continue with that? Because he can?
No, after,
You
keep going,
You just
go.
keep going.
Alright, in 1996, after 15 years of deliberation, Felker was executed by electric chair. Until his death, he maintained his plea of innocence, and up until this moment of death, Ellis proclaimed that they were executing an innocent man. So, you're right, he was right, that was not in California, but that is just one case that I found out of a list of top 10 cases of unsolved death penalty cases that has been, where the man was charged as guilty when he was later found innocent. But, you're right, that is not in California. Second contention, millions saved per year. Proposition 34, it doesn't only prevent men like Ellis Felker, even though he wasn't in California. Men like that are in California. There are hundreds of cases. There's 139 men that have actually been national, so not just in California, but 139 total that have been freed after, having been declared, guilty for the death penalty and on death row. So I don't know if that information isn't completely correct, but it has been proven that 139 men have been let go after being charged. There are 46% of murders and 56% of rapes that go unsolved every year. And you're saying that the money that is charged for men that are on death row and waiting there, that $56,000 every year, it would actually be greater than what would be saved. But that's not completely true because there are millions of dollars that go into the court system every year solely for the death penalty. Like there's judges that are only dealing with the death penalty. There's lawyers that are assigned to these convicts because many of these convicts don't have the funding necessary to supply their own lawyers. And so the state of California supplies them with lawyers. And these lawyers are looking everywhere they can for any loopholes that might get these people off. So they're doing a lot of work and these lawyers are really expensive. Having the death penalty removed would not only completely remove all the court systems that are only for the death penalty, it would also remove all those active lawyers that are just hanging out there waiting for somebody to be saved, basically. And the last point of contention is that it's not constitutional. And you can, Billy stated that our definition of cruel and unusual was based, cruel and unusual, at least how they stated it. But those men are sitting there, for years, like that guy Ellis Felker, 15 years from being charged to his death. And that 15 years
Stop.
Oh.
Son, can you get going?
Sorry, I didn't see the sign.
Okay. Thank you.